is currently in complete disarray due to the purported occurrence of the unthinkable. We witnessed the simmering conflict between 50 Cent, the ultimate master of psychological warfare, and K, the king of the South. For weeks, however, nobody was ready for the recent tectonic change. These days, we are discussing more than simply a rap feud. We are discussing reports of a complete domestic meltdown that has paralyzed the sector as a whole. The most recent rumors that are going around there are rumors circulating that Tiny Harris's long-standing wall of silence has finally broken. And what has allegedly leaked out is sufficient to put an end to a 20-year legacy in one evening. Picture the scene. A union that has made it through federal prison. It is said that reality TV cameras and constant public scrutiny are coming to an end, called due to a secret that was kept under wraps for more than 10 years. Claims that Tiny Harris has finally been entangled in a web of her own design are all over the internet, and the report suggests that she has purportedly verified the one thing T was most afraid of: the covert evening spent with his most formidable opponent, 50 Cent. This is no longer just a picture. This relates to the alleged revelation of a deception so profound that it has reached a breaking point for T, of no return, as media declared that T has officially reached his breaking point after exposing his wife in a major lie. Fans are completely immobilized as they watch the drama play out. It's a chilling energy. There are rumors of a leaked video, and the stakes are at an all-time high. Are the only topics that individuals can discuss. Is the Harris empire coming to an end? Has the Queen admitted her guilt to the adversary at last? We're going to delve deeply into these startling stories, the said violent altercations, so stay tuned. Is the purportedly leaked video that everyone is frantically trying to find. This is a voyage into a split home. You won't believe the final turns, we assure you. The Harris household's surroundings are said to have changed from a stronghold of harmony to a home of mirrors, where a fresh treachery is revealed with each reflection. Insiders claiming to have witnessed the original fallout said that the tension began with a heavy, oppressive stillness that pervaded their Georgia house rather than a public post. According to reports, T had been surreptitiously looking into the timing of those notorious pictures for weeks, motivated by a persistent concern that his wife's justifications did not make sense. The King of the South was said to have developed an obsession with the specifics, comparing tour dates from the past with 50 Cent's digital footprints, thus cry spread out for everyone to see. Fans are startled by rumors of a late-night altercation in which T allegedly gave Tiny a stack of printed papers and demanded to know why her phone location from a certain night in Las Vegas matched a hotel suite linked to a member of the Gunnet entourage. T is said to have been pacing the floor and questioning how the woman he established an empire with could leave him, which is a heartbreaking example of emotional turmoil, vulnerable to his greatest enemy's mockery. Friends of the family say that for the first time in their long history, Tiny did not. She retaliated right away with her typical fiery passion. Rather, she allegedly sat in a terrifying quiet, which T took to be a silent admission. According to the story, the pressure of the deception got unbearable as the hours went by. There are rumors that Tiny finally lost it. She apparently acknowledged that the night in question was more than a fortuitous meeting or a straightforward photo opportunity, her voice shaking. During one of his extended absences, she allegedly informed him that she felt ignored and neglected, and that 50 Cent had taken advantage of her fragility to become close to her. The treachery wasn't not just a physical one, but a psychological blow at the core of their trust. Observers see that their adult children are caught in a crossfire of hurt and loyalty as a result of this purported confession, which has shocked their inner circle. King Harris, who has consistently expressed he has apparently stopped posting on social media, and sources say he is finding it difficult to look his mother in the eye after realizing that his own public outbursts may have brought this secret to light. The Rydie couple's reputation is crumbling under the weight of these alleged admissions, and the community is staring in shock. Each time a fresh element is revealed, it feels like a deliberate attack on the legacy of Harris, a legacy that was meant to last forever. According to industry insiders, T feels as though his crown has been taken away from him in front of his entire kingdom. He had devoted years to protecting his spouse from every gossip and criticism, only to discover that the man he hated the most was supposedly being honest all along. This realization is supposed to have had a profound psychological impact, transforming T.I.'s a sign of confidence into a raw, exposed nerve. As indications indicate that this was not an isolated incident, the narrative takes a darker turn. Error. But 50 Cent was able to move like a ghost because of a secret that had been kept over Tiny's head for years. During their existence, T allegedly accused Tiny of being a pawn in a 50 Cent chess game after the claimed heated confrontations behind closed doors reached a breaking point. Tiny, on the other hand, allegedly contended that despite her prior transgressions, her devotion to the family remained unwavering and that she was a victim of her circumstances. Since their entire business is based on the idea of family first, the emotional stakes are quite high. And now that family is allegedly being split apart by the very individual they once seen as an outsider. As people attempt to make sense of the larger hip-hop community's response response has been one of collective jaw-dropping shock. They are aware of what the subject of these dramatic reports said. Some fans think this is all part of a well-planned slander effort. Some believe that the Harris camp's quiet is a sign of complete defeat, while 50 Cent wants to complete what he began years ago. Even their closest friends are reluctant to take sides in the drama because they worry that the consequences will be messy and long. As the evening wore on, according to sources, T made a revelation that altered everything during that said altercation, a finding that shifted the debate from verbal to digital proof. On an old cloud drive, he allegedly discovered a hidden folder with messages he was not supposed to access. Messages that purportedly revealed Tiny had communicated with 50 Cent far more recently than she had previously disclosed. Twist continued, a fresh degree of treachery, implying that the covert evening was only the beginning. According to reports, the Harris household left in a complete state of disarray. He allegedly screamed that his dignity was not for sale and that he could not continue to play the role of the happy husband while the world laughed at him. As T did, I realized that the lie was not just a ghost from the past, but a living, breathing part of his present. According to reports, Tani begged him to pay attention, saying that the texts were taken out of context and that her only goal was to stop 50 Cent from releasing the video that he had been threatening her with for years. T is said to have stopped dead in his tracks when the footage was mentioned, his rage morphing into a cold, calculated terror. He came to the realization that his job and marriage would go in an instant if the video was real. At 3 in the morning, T allegedly started phoning his legal team, which caused the stress to shift from the bedroom to the office, frantically trying to figure out how to stop any such leaks before they go online. However, the harm was already when inside his house. The trust vanished and was replaced by a distrust that tainted every look and every word. The couple's close friends and family said that you could practically feel the resentment in the house. To protect them from the yelling, the kids were allegedly relocated to a different wing of the house. However, the argument's echoes could not be avoided. Staff workers reportedly witnessed Tiny sobbing in the lawn, appearing to be a woman who had lost everything in a matter of hours. The report suggests that she felt trapped between a husband who could not forgive her and a rival who would not stop until she was destroyed. Rap music and social media likes were no longer the focus of the drama. In Atlanta's most affluent neighborhood, a grim real-life tragedy unfolded. As the information came to light, public opinion started to change, with many questioning how a small woman could have become involved in what a risky game. Whispers said that the solution was a mix of loneliness and the unwavering charm of a man like 50 Cent, who is adept at determining a person's breaking point. On that fateful day, when the sun rose, T allegedly made a choice that would alter the path of their lives indefinitely. A choice to speak with 50 Cent face-to-face via a private channel in order to find out exactly what the mogul was threatening to do to his family. According to the reports, 50 Cent's reaction consisted of a single snapshot of a video clip that was dated and labeled with Tiny's name, followed by a terrifying laugh. At this point, T realized that he was battling not only for his marriage but also for his own survival in a field that consumes weakness. Is intended for breakfast. Consumes weakness. Is intended for breakfast. He reportedly told his wife that she had given his head to his adversary on a silver platter. The stillness that ensued was the loudest sound in the universe, and the betrayal felt total. The world's loudest sound was the hush that ensued. Additionally, it allegedly signaled the start of a Cold War that spread from their estate's private passageways to the digital environment, where everyone was waiting for a mistake. The morning gave way to the afternoon. Insiders compared the mood in the Harris home to a crime scene where nobody was speaking and everyone was a suspect. According to reports, T was sequestered in his study throughout those hours. He was surrounded by phones and screens attempting to confirm the legitimacy of the screenshot that 50 Cent had supplied him. He was allegedly reaching out to tech experts and private investigators to see if the video file was a deep fake or a genuine ghost from his wife's past. In the meantime, Tiny was reportedly kept apart from her spouse and kids in the guest suite. Sources close to her stated that she was afraid that a single night of bad decision-making that had now caught up with her would destroy the reputation she had built over decades as a loving mother and successful businesswoman. Her emotional stakes were generational as well as personal. According to reports, the Harris children were seeing their parents' identities being dragged through the muck of public opinion while viewing the news on their own phones. Fans were taken aback by Tiny's Nick. Her daughter posted a number of heartbroken emojis on her tail, which many saw as an indication that the internal harm was far more severe than the world was aware. When word leaked out that T had found even more contradictions in Tiny's account during his digital inquiry, the controversy escalated. It is said that he discovered historical flight records that revealed Tiny had taken a private plane to a city where 50 Cent was performing. She had informed T that the trip was a girls' retreat. This fresh information implied that the treachery wasn't merely an unintentional error. However, a deliberate string of lies that had been ongoing for far longer than anyone dared to imagine. T was clearly suffering psychologically. According to reports, he was briefly spotted leaving his house, appearing unkempt and agitated. A vast departure from his customary calm demeanor as the King of the South. The story changed as rumors started to rumor that 50 Cent intended to screen the film at a prominent industry gathering, rather than just possessing it. According to reports, T sent a series out of fear of this public humiliation, a desperate message to 50 Cent asking him to keep the family out of their conflict. But in keeping with his reputation as a merciless rival, 50 Cent allegedly retaliated by putting up a countdown clock on social media, hinting to a significant revelation that would permanently alter hip-hop. Taking sides and arguing whether or not Tiny's past should be used as a weapon caused a frenzy in the community against the legacy of her husband. While some believed that targeting a marriage was a limit that should never be crossed, others contended that T had caused this instability by interacting with 50 Cent in the first place. According to reports, the Harris family's internal strife reached a breaking point when T.I.'s extended family started to weigh in, with some family members reportedly advising him to file for divorce right away in order to preserve what little dignity he still had. However, Tiny's friends were allegedly retaliating, saying that T was not a saint in their lengthy marriage and that she was being unfairly singled out. This exchange between the two camps fueled the flames, resulting in a media circus that didn't appear to be stopping down. According to the sources, the word divorce was first used formally during a contentious conference call between their respective legal teams. The financial ramifications were enormous, but what mattered most to T was the emotional cost. According to reports, he was heard stating that he could accept a defeat in court. However, the sensation of being ridiculed in the streets he had formerly controlled was too much for him to bear. As the 50 Cent page countdown approached, the Harris camp's desperation escalated to a fever pitch. According to reports, Tiny made one final effort to close the distance by entering T.I.'s study and pleading with him to recall the life they had created together. She apparently informed him that 50 Cent was winning because he was able to incite animosity between them. However, T was allegedly too engrossed in his pain to pay attention. He allegedly told her that the lady in front of him was a stranger and that the woman he loved would never have entered a room with his enemy. With each second that went by, the betrayal felt new and searing, and the mistrust was like a poison that had got into his circulation. Security officers and employees were muttering about the end of an era, and onlookers reported that the home felt like a pressure cooker about to blow up. When a well-known blogger claimed to have seen a portion of the leaked video and described it as a candid moment that validated what 50 Cent has been, the controversy entered a new stage, hinting at the Harris team realized they were running out of time to manage the narrative, and this report put them into a complete tailspin. There were rumors that Tiny had been expelled or had made the decision to leave after she was spotted by cameras, leaving the residence with just one suitcase. Prior to the last bomb being dropped, the image of her driving off